All right, so we had that state of play, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts. Obviously, I made a predictions video, and one of the things I was really feeling is that we were going to get a remaster of some kind and an original exclusive game. It turns out I was right about both of those things, although I was wrong about the ones they were going to reveal, which makes me realize that those other two things are probably in the works. But I just wanted to quickly share some of my thoughts with you guys and my takeaways from this state of play. Overall, it was okay. It wasn't terrible. I don't feel like it was bad, especially because it ended on a really high note. But I feel like Sony really needs to be doing more right now. I just feel like they're out of touch and that they are kind of doing what they did during the beginnings of the PS3 era, where they came off riding a huge high from the PS2 and really didn't give the consumer what they were looking for, giving Xbox an advantage. And eventually, towards the end of the PS3 era, they turned it around, were producing great games, were able to give things at a decent cost, and that led to the surgeons that they had in the PS4. And I really feel like we're in that lull right now. I'm hoping to turn around, especially because Xbox really is not competing with PlayStation at the level that they were during those 360 days. And so with all that out of the way, I just want to share the three things that stood out to me the most, the things I enjoyed the most about this presentation. There was lots of different games, but three of them stood out to me, and I just wanted to chat about them. So the first game is the Horizon remake. I have mixed feelings about this. I really do, and I understand people's complaints. I think people are just really getting tired of the remasters. I also think it's hard that when there are so many games that you feel like could be remastered, like imagine if we got an Infamous remaster, like something like that where you're like, take that from the PS3 and give it a PS5 experience where it's made from the ground up could really be something special. I get that frustration. But to be honest, looking at this, it looks really good. I can't remember what the original Horizon looked like. I know that it was a decent looking game. It looked pretty good, especially for the time. But this does feel like that they've improved things. I think the biggest thing that made me feel more positively towards this remaster, and not just kind of doing the groan of, oh, come on, another PS4 game that didn't need a remake, getting a remake. And the reason why I didn't feel that way after watching this trailer was because they've put a lot into this thing. In fact, they've redone, I think they said 15 hours of mocap stuff and scenes. And so that's pretty incredible. That is a remake. And to be honest, it looks really good. It looks like a PS5 game that was built on the PS5. I feel like Horizon is one of those franchises that many didn't dive into that are going to take the dive in here. I know for myself personally, I didn't really play that first Horizon game, and because of that, I've been holding out on the second game. And so seeing this coming along, I gotta be honest, I think I'm gonna pick it up and play it for the first time because I didn't play it on PS4, and I look at this and go, you know what, this is something that I passed on that I really want to give a go, and hearing the amount of effort they put into this remake has me intrigued. But I get the groans, I get why people aren't excited. I understand that, but for me, I was like, hey, I actually think I'm going to pick this up and give it a go. And it looks like they've put a lot of effort into just remaking it. It's not just like a Last of Us Part 2, where pretty much the only difference is some added features, which were good, and the adaptive triggers and all those different PS5 upgrades. It looks like they actually remade this game in a lot of ways. And so that has me intrigued, and I'll be picking it up so that I can eventually play its sequel and become more well-versed in this franchise. Another thing that really caught my attention, and just because I am a massive Sonic fan, I am very excited for the Sonic Generations remaster, with the Shadow Generations being attached to it. Of course, Sonic actually had his own state of play, if you will. Today was Sonic Central, where we got to see some more into that game, into the story for Shadow and what that's going to look like. And then in this state of play, they announced that we're actually getting Keanu in this game as Shadow, and that I don't know if it's just PlayStation users or if it's just people who pre-order the game in general, are going to get 3 fully unique levels that are based on the movie coming out with full voice acting from Keanu Reeves. I just think that that's so cool. Such a nice touch, something that they didn't have to do, and that has me excited because I actually, in the short span that I've seen Keanu playing this role, love his take on this character. And so to be able to get some extra levels from that, to be able to get a better glimpse of this game, has me excited personally as a massive fan of Sonic the Hedgehog and as a massive fan of Shadow the Hedgehog. And then lastly, of course, this was the thing that for a lot of people saved this state of play, was the announcement of another Ghost game. Again, this is a franchise that I haven't dived into, and now I really want to play that first game again. I'm actually currently making my way through God of War. I tried to play God of War years ago. I didn't understand it at all, and this year I played it, fell in love with that franchise. I'm now in the middle of Ragnarok, and I'm really looking forward to doing that, hopefully with Ghost and hopefully with Horizon Zero Dawn again. But this game looks really great. I've heard nothing but good things. Sucker Punch was one of my favorite developers, especially on the PS3. I was a massive Infamous fan, and although I would love to see another Infamous game come into this, have them make that for that franchise, I'm super excited to see this Ghost game. I'll definitely be picking it up. It's really intriguing. Apparently it takes place 400 to 600 years after the first one, which is really interesting. And they have a female protagonist now, which has me curious. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to a game made by Sony later on in the PS5's lifecycle that was made specifically for the PS5 that isn't held back by the Xbox. I think it's called the Series S, the crappier one that's essentially just an Xbox One, but a little bit better. So I'm excited to see what they can do there. And that's an incredibly exciting thing, especially knowing that I can't remember if it's a movie or a TV show, but they are making a Ghost TV show or movie. I think it might be a TV show. And so to have this coming along feels really exciting. And to be honest, did save this state of play, that the Horizon announcement was like, okay, another remaster. There were some other things sprinkled in there that were okay. I just got to be honest, I don't know who cares about the VR2. I just don't. I'm really sick of VR. I think most people are kind of done with it, that it was a fad that hasn't gone anywhere. It's got people who are really passionate about it, but for the average person, no matter how comfortable and how cool putting on a set of glasses or goggles is, that people don't want to have to look around and use their heads to play a game. They just want to pick up a controller. And so it feels like the VR2 is dying, but it's good to see that for those who purchased it, they're still putting stuff into it. Of course, it's good to see other games coming into PlayStation, but it really feels like we're missing those exclusives. And so I was really happy to see that Ghost was announced, because as a PS5 user, as a PlayStation fan, it's been really disheartening for this generation, and it still is. Like, this is not enough, and I think that's my biggest thing coming away from this. Is I'm really happy that we got some good announcements. I am happy that we got a remaster. I am happy that we got a original game for the PS5, but they need to be doing better. I really think Sony needs to pick it up. I think they will. I think that a lot of the games being developed, because they take so long now to develop, are going to be announced in this second half of the PS5's life cycle, and we're going to have like a flurry of games, much like what we did for the PS4 towards the end of its life cycle. But right now, I've got to be honest, it just feels really dismal. It doesn't feel like there's much to get excited about, and so to just have something to be excited about is good. And I'm trying to be positive in this video, because I know that lately there's been so much negativity surrounding PlayStation, and for good reason. Concord was a huge disappointment. Astrobot was very much a pleasant surprise. But yeah, they need to be doing better. So those are kind of my thoughts on the state of play. Those are the 3 things that stood out to me, that got me the most excited and intrigued. But I want to know in the comment section down below what your thoughts were. Did you enjoy the state of play? Do you feel like Sony did enough? Do you feel like it wasn't enough? Do you feel like it was disappointing? Were you hoping for more? Was just having only one new game really be announced, because I wouldn't really count Horizon because it's a remaster, was that disappointing for you? Let me know in the comment section down below what got you the most excited, what got you the most frustrated. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, all that junk, and I will see you guys in the next one.